gentlemen, welcome to CRL Asia, week number 6, the final day. And the final day means maybe the final day for Korea as a region. What's happening? My name's G-Clef. With me, Simon. You have covered yesterday. Tell me what happened.
I mean, it was a massacre.
I know.
It was a Saturday night massacre. Korea went down 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. It was some of the, I don't know, I've never felt bad for a team losing as much as I felt bad for OGN yesterday.
And they're playing again today?
And they're playing again today, so hopefully they can get their chickens back in order. But man, I've never felt as bad as I did.
Yeah, so far, Korea versus Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia versus Korea, 6-0, just like week number 4. So for the final day, it seems like they have some hope, right?
No.
Simon?
Last time they had hope because it was Kingzone, Dragon X, and Sandbox, the two strongest teams from the region. This time, it's the bottom two teams.
It's the bottom two teams of both regions. No. Yes, because it's OPI Gaming, OGN ENTUS, 3rd, 4th, and also AHQ Kicks, 3rd, 4th from Southeast Asia.
But you say the bottom two teams for Southeast Asia, but no team in Southeast Asia has a negative win record. We have Kicks at 4-4, and AHQ eSports at 5-3. Now, 5-3 is actually #1 position if they were a Korean team.
Yeah, this is what's happening in Clash Royale League Asia. Of course, the Japanese teams will be on break this weekend. That's why we have two regions going against each other once again. And here's the standing, what we have been talking about. Will they be the team with the 0-8?
Will they go 0-9? Now, that would be an absolute disaster for OGN ENTUS here.
Yeah, if they drop one more, that's going to be a big upset. And that's also a reason why a lot of the other teams, for especially the other regions, even though they are low in the standings of their own region, they have a lot of pluses onto the side. Because OGN dropped a lot of their matches.
Yeah, well,
which is
SEA,
painful.
look at SEA. It's the only region where everyone has a positive set game record. That is nuts.
Yeah, that is.
But then you look at Panos, plus 11 games. That is so ridiculously high.
Yeah, Kingzone had a 5-2 when they started this weekend, but dropping 2 matches in a row. That's going to be somewhat painful for them as they would love to keep that standings up high. The first place from each region goes all the way to the semis playoff directly after the regular season. Here's today's matchup. OGN ENTUS versus Kicks. OPI Gaming Clash Royale versus AHQ eSports Club. As you mentioned before, it seems very likely, and we've been talking a lot to the Korean casters, and the main struggle, not just the 1v1, has been the 2v2, how they start the match. I'm talking about the Korean teams, of course.
Yeah, SEA's 2v2, honestly, is just ridiculously strong. They do not drop games in 2v2.
Royal Giants, of course, we're getting the massive change onto it. Everyone's seen it, and we're gonna get that balance change soon.
Next week?
Yeah, October 1st, so that's coming very soon. But Royal Giant Skeleton has been their tool to basically win that 2v2 all the time.
Yeah, Brent Esports are the team that kind of perfected that Giant Skeleton Royal Giant. And when they play that, it always looks bad for the other team. But the Korean teams just didn't find a way to deal with it yet. Will they be able to find a way to deal with it today? If Kicks decide to bring the same, who knows?
Who knows? As Season 1, we had a lot of Golem, but eventually it came down to who played better Golem deck. They can copy it, try to make some adjustments so they can have an easier time, make a better play. That's OGN because they need to grab any wins, not just a set. And we do have TNT, the youngest member in the league, and he's been doing okay. Last night, of course, a loss in the set, but still, he's going to be playing once again on that 1v1.
Well, let's be honest, he did lose to Master Hong, the oldest and arguably the best player in the league, who is still undefeated in the best of 3 at 36 years old. The guy is nuts, but this is Kicks. Kicks are doing incredibly well right now, even though they sit bottom of the SEA region. Dylan, The Rock, Lampo, Diastitch, and Martin have played some phenomenal Clash Royale.
Yeah, they are continuing to bring those Clash Royale action, and they start with great 2v2. And Lampo, just a staple 1v1, has been winning a lot of his matches, and he's been really the rising star. So we do have the younger stars in both teams. Let's see which star is better, stronger, and nice.
Yeah, Martin and Diaz Stitch, 5 2v2 wins on the bounce. That is such an impressive 2v2 record. What can you do against them? They just don't lose. They've beaten Benzaridel JTV, Radin Yakitori. They beat Mikamboyu and Tengod in a 2v2. It's just Expo Master Ho, Radin Yakitori. Martin and Diaz Stitch at 2v2 are incredibly strong, but today we're going to have Dylan and Lampo instead.
So it's going to be a shake-up here. Lampo not playing their 1v1, well, with Dylan, who's also known as the 1v1 player before Lampo came in basically into the team. They'll be stuck together in that 2v2, banning P.E.K.K.A. and How Long Crown from OGN ENTUS, banning Tornado. That's the most common card ban.
Yeah, the P.E.K.K.A. ban does that shout giant control, like giant beatdown. P.E.K.K.A. beat, not P.E.K.K.A. beatdown. P.E.K.K.A.'s been banned. What am I talking about? I meant to say Golem
P.E.K.K.A. was
beatdown.
beat down with the ban, yes. So a lot of Golem. We're
Giant.
Expecting. Yeah, Giant as well. And just as a ban, we could see these kind of hints where a lot of the Golem, the Giant ones, can be a big problem, and they do like to use that lava oftentimes as well, which has not been banned, and there's no Tornado, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, to go Laloon in 2v2 is just really good, but we have seen this whole kind of meta shift right now where Royal Hogs in 2v2 have just been unreal. There is no real answer. We've seen a lot of Bomb Tower, and it does work, but it doesn't work enough.
Yeah, and that's also the reason why against the Bomb Tower, Inferno Tower, there hasn't been a lot of Lightning Spell that straight out does do the damage to the tower and take out a few more at the same time. And the tower goes down really quickly. The Hogs will be spread out going to the Princess Tower right after. That has been the strategy of a lot of these teams the past 2 days. So let's see if we see anything else, anything crazy for the final day.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at Dylan and Lampo in 2v2. Lampo has not played any 2v2 so far this season. Dylan has played 3. He played with The Rock, Martin, and The Rock again. They beat Jacques and Yao Yao in 2v2. They lost to Manny Knoxville and Chief Glenn of Bren Esports. And they lost to Sandbox, County of Thunder. That's just Dylan, though. We haven't seen Lampo once again in 2v2.
Seems like the players are ready because we have the ban cards and the deck 1 hour before the broadcast to be ready. Seems like they're ready to go. We have the first game. OGN ENTUS looking for the first series win. Kicks. Bringing it back and continue their momentum for Southeast Asia. Let's get to set 1, game number 1.
So here we are. OGN ENTUS, Howl, and One Crown looking for a victory in this set. In blue at the bottom of the screen. Dylan and Lampo in red at the top.
See the Bomb Towers on top and the Royal Giant.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get that Royal Giant giant skeleton that we've seen quite a bit this weekend from the Southeast Asian teams.
Ooh, and the same from OGN ENTUS. They're trying to have the same strategy. Let's see who's better. They got the Bomb Tower ready.
Yeah, it looks as though Kicks were expecting the Royal Hogs, but that Bomb Tower makes short work of the Giant Skeleton, but the Inferno Tower there is going to take out that Royal Giant very, very easily.
Because it was already onto the bridge, about to have some direct shots into the Princess Tower, but Inferno Tower just before that.
Yeah, so they rewind up with this Giant Skeleton Royal Giant combo. Let's see how it works. They do get 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits on the tower. That Royal Giant is still very, very healthy, though. Snowball comes in to slow everything down. The explosion damage comes in. A 1,580 remaining on that left-hand tower. That Royal Giant actually did so much work for OGN ENTUS.
Oh, yeah, certainly. About 1,000 damage. Suddenly they went to the left. It seems like Dylan Lampo was a little surprised, but they've got their own prepared to go through. Of course, it has to go through the Inferno Tower first.
Oh, the Inferno Dragon was such a good decision. Placed away from the lightning spell. So it is going to take out this Royal Giant now. Beautiful, beautiful placement on that Inferno Dragon, knowing that the lightning was probably a high possibility.
So they have to zap him as well. Did get a few shots into the tower, the bottom left. See how they want to push a little bit further. Just soaking some shots, but the E-Wizard actually doing 1 damage to the tower, or 2, twice.
Actually, that could have gone really, really bad for OGN ENTUS, because you always want the Giant Skeleton in the front. And with the E-Wiz there, the Giant Skeleton tried to push past that Royal Giant. Didn't manage to do it this time, but that could have gone a lot worse for OGN ENTUS there.
He has another push. Actually pushes in.
Yeah, the Royal Giant is first. It's getting targeted by that bomb tower. But look at the damage it's managed to do. That tower with the poison as well is getting taken down. 671 remain. But OGN ENTUS' bottom left-hand tower has 865. The Inferno Tower now has to come in. It has to do work here. Needs to take out that Giant Skeleton as the Inferno Dragon is going to get E-Wizzed and blocked out of this.
And because of that, the smart poison did not actually get the Inferno Tower. It was far away from the tower, but the real push is happening. 2 seconds. Double that poison. The Giant is on block, and that's going to be the tower down. OGN ENTUS takes the first game of 2v2.
Is this the turning point for OGN ENTUS? Because they played so well that time. They took a deck that we haven't really seen the Korean teams try out at all, and just showed Dylan and Lampo how to play it.
Sometimes, rather than looking for some solutions against the deck that you think you have an answer, if you don't, just copy one. Just like what I said before the match started, I was just totally guessing. Have a same one, but play it better, with better synergy. That actually came through once today. And better plays of poison, taking out a lot of the Inferno Tower damage and the bomb tower together.
Do we think that Kicks may have underestimated OGN ENTUS? They didn't bring out their #1 2v2. They have Stitch in the 1v1, so to me it feels like they're trying out things today because they know OGN don't generally get results. Have they underestimated the power of OGN ENTUS? Because OGN ENTUS rarely get destroyed.
That is certainly a possibility, but just knowing that TNT he's quite popular in all around Asia with his skills because he has hit that rank #1 many times. And all of these players should know and how good TNT is at least. So 2v2, even though they're trying something new, maybe this is actually not the best time, even against OGN ENTUS, but sometimes you do need to shake up if you think you can just have 2 staple and one single player for that 1v1.
Yeah, but we are about to get into game #2 now between OGN ENTUS and Kicks. Will OGN ENTUS be able to take this set? We're about to find out. So here we go. Howl One Crown in blue looking for a set victory now. But Dylan and Lampo do stand in their way in red at the top. And there are those hogs. Inferno Tower and Bomb Tower.
That's a little too much, I would say, and the poison. Howl One Crown, they will be smiling with that poison, even getting some damage into the Mega Minion as well.
Yeah, that was a very high value poison. Getting both. Oh, and here comes another set of hogs. Do we have any defensive answers here? They don't have the bomb tower. They do have an Inferno Tower. There's a snowball to slow things down. But the hogs are getting work done. 1,668 remaining on that bottom tower. So they reload with their own hogs. The miner has gone into the back. It's attacking the guards, but that just opens up the front to those hogs. And the hogs on both sides actually getting so much damage done here.
Especially the left ones. They were a little late. But the Great Fireball to basically delete all the Mega Minions that were coming right after. So that was some damage that they were willing to take. So let's see the counterattack once again.
Bomb tower this time. Oh, one hog just decides to ignore that tower. And look at the top tower just go down. 1,053 remain. But the miner that was used by Kicks on that bottom right-hand side takes that tower to 1,232. Another miner here with the two hogs taking that tower down. Mega Minion as well. They have to use the Inferno Dragon, but the damage is getting critical here.
It's going down with one final shot. No, just too close, but they do have a log to take it out, so that won't be too much of a problem. So all they have to do is, right now, have a massive defense, or actually going for a super aggressive push once again.
Did they need to go for the hog split there? Part of me feels like they would have been better going for all four on the ones on the more healthy side, because they could finish it anyway. But will OGN ENTUS be able to crack this tower? They have 55 seconds remain. And if that Mega Minion connects, and it does.
Oh, one more tower down. We still have 46 seconds left in the game. Yeah, actually, OGN smiling at the end because they did a lot more scratch onto the right side too.
Yeah, this is why I think those four hogs should have gone down the left-hand side for Kicks. But we'll soon find out if that is going to be a critical mistake. Poison is down. The miner is there. The hogs now hit the tower, taking it with that poison damage just below 1,000 HP.
And all those guards are going down for the poison. Another great attack with double the miner this time from Kicks. Coming in with onto the 1,000. A little less now, but OGN having a counter attack once again.
Yeah, and if it keeps going like this back and forth with the hogs and the miners, OGN will win this set because they did the damage first. 579 remaining on that top right. 769 on that bottom left. Poison comes in, the miner goes for the guards, but the hogs, they actually connect. The snowball there slows everything down. 198, 171. The poison isn't going to be enough this time, but they just need to cycle to one more time. The miner is there. The miner will finish that tower, and OGN take set 1. Is this the revival of this team?
0-8 in that match score result. We have seen that at the beginning of broadcast. Already a set taken away from Kicks. Clean 2-0, which has, I don't think this has ever happened this weekend from a Korean team.
Well, no. This Korea team have been nearly beaten every time 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. Like, it's been a horrible weekend for the Korean team, but this could be a shining light in the darkness for the Korean region as OGN ENTUS get a set win. Will they be able to take set 2 and put that first W on the board?
And TNT's waiting.
Had his first game yesterday, first ever game in a tournament setting. That can really mess people up. We saw that Lampo himself actually struggled with that first game. Not Lampo, there was another player who really struggled with the first game. Everyone was expecting, I think it was One Crown actually.
Yes, exactly. One Crown was the old TNT for the team. He actually struggled a lot, but on this 2v2 tonight, with Hao, it was excellent. Had basically a mirror deck here, with lots of giant skeletons, Royal Giants pushing in, destroying the structure, and then going through into the Princess Tower.
Yeah, and I feel really happy for OGN ENTUS. Just winning a set, I think that's the first time I've seen them win a set. It feels like it's the first time they've won a set. But that Royal Giant play, they made it look easy.
They made it look a little easier. And with that move that you pointed out when the right bottom tower was actually going down, I actually was thinking about the exact same thing. Maybe focusing a little bit more onto the left bottom only could have helped a lot more. This was the moment where they split into 2.
Yeah, I think when you have 61 HP remaining and you have a poison and a log, I mean, you just go down the other side and just log it to death. Why would you waste half of your hogs on that?
And it is certainly true. They used a lot of guards on the poison. They know the poison is coming, but not just to get damage out from the miner, but also to delay the hogs. That's why they were using a lot of the guards. But OGN, with that, was getting a lot more poison value every single time. So with that, they will grab 2 straight wins. On that 2v2, they have the first set. With that W,
will they be able to get set number 2? TNT will take on Dios Stitch.
Who's usually a 2v2 player.
He is. It's usually Dios Stitch and Matin. Yeah, 5 wins on the bounce for those two. But this 1v1, TNT has banned the Graveyard and Dios Stitch has banned the Miner. Both players here seemingly banning a very similar deck archetype.
Your Stitches, it is not too common for him to come out in that this 1v1. And the numbers you see on screen on the right side used to be the game win score. Now it's a set win. That's why he just has that 1 right next to that L because of yesterday's result.
Yeah. So the reason why it's changed is because now there is a lot of data and the numbers, you know, they look nice. Instead of it being 1-0, 1-1, a lot of players have different numbers. So look at that, 5-0 in 2v2 for DR Stitch. But no 1v1 record, and his King of the Hill record is quite shaky. He's beaten Danny from Fav Gaming, but has lost to Rad and Roller Peron from Fav Gaming and Pono Sports.
He did have a very good counter deck against Danny, and I think that was a great game. If you missed it, you can go watch it again, of course. But he's up against TNT with less information, and the power of TNT actually comes out from so many different decks that he can play.
But he always plays very meta decks. But we're going to see what he brings into this 1v1 as TNT of OGN ENTUS takes on DR Stitch of Kicks. Will OGN be able to get the first W, or will Kicks take us to King of the Hill? We're going to find out very shortly. So TNT in blue at the bottom, DR Stitch in red at the top. What are we going to see here?
Well, we'll see. What TNT played yesterday was based on lots of graveyard actually with Poison, and he's the one banning graveyard tonight, so we'll have to see.
We do see the Prince. Does this indicate a Giant is going to be dropped down right at that bridge? No. Okay, Fireball comes in. That will severely damage the Electro Wizard. Takes out the Rascal Girl, so that Prince is going to be able to at least look at that Magic Archer, but get nowhere near.
Yeah, but TNT only used 2 cards so far. There's Dark Prince as well. And this smells more and more like the usual Golem we see for 2v2. But it's going to be a very heavy one if actually TNT was willing to use that.
He is the kind of player who, I mean, double Prince Giant is probably more likely. That's going back a while, though. There's been quite a few balance changes since then. But TNT, there we go. There's the Giant. From what I've heard, he likes to play meta decks.
Oh man, but there's the P.E.K.K.A. right after. So that Giant will be very weak in this game. So let's see if that Giant comes out anymore, because I think it's basically not going to be too powerful.
Even with the P.E.K.K.A, the Giant still gets the value of just being a meat shield. That's what you kind of want him to do at this point. You want him to just tank up and let your Princes do all the damage, but P.E.K.K.A does take him out very, very, very quickly. And we see the Magic Archer just doesn't have the angle there. That log actually pushed him into an angle
just
for that.
One shot, but he'll get more out of this tower straight on. There's a Fireball, but he's very low on Elixir, as you can tell. That's why TNT plays bridge spams the Prince. There's not too many of it, too. He just has to put something down.
Yeah, the Royal Ghost does get down, but the Prince actually connects.
The tower! 383.
Poking right through the Ghost. Doesn't even care.
Just understanding the opponent's Elixir, that he has a massive lead. It's quite rare to see that Prince is spammed in the bridge alone.
Oh, and TNT throwing out the good games already. I mean, I have to agree, within 30 seconds left, DR Stitch has all the work to do.
And he's got all the hogs taken care of with that Dark Prince on the left. Still 4 digits.
Yeah, with that log, that puts it into Fireball range on that tower. So all TNT has to do is hold on for his cycle.
And he's been holding it for a long time. And there's the Fireball. Secure the first crown, and that's going to be a win for TNT. He's having some massive lead and making sure that he has a perfect defense, even though the Giant was kind of countered by the P.E.K.K.A. Seemed like that was not really... That didn't really affect him too much.
You were right, though. He only played the one Giant and then had no need to play it again because he just had this huge Elixir lead. And fair play to TNT for noticing that window being open.
He was reading the Elixir, and the moment that Stitch dropped down that Fireball, TNT knew that he had no elixir. Drops on the Prince on the bridge, locks onto the tower.
I mean, he had to throw the fireball. What else did he have really to defend both of these things? You never want the Mega Minion to connect to the tower. But yeah, that window was open. And, you know, he had a 5 elixir elite, so he throws down the Prince. And here, very interesting that the Prince just reaches the tower.
Yeah, because the Ghost comes down invisible. And for it to actually come into the unit's range to be hit, it actually has to be in motion. And it was before that. Prince actually has some range.
Very slight. I think it's a 0.5.
Well, he's holding a spear. Yes, that makes sense.
It's a lance. It's a lance, man. It's not a spear.
It's not like a goblin cutter, though, so it's not the same. Timeout has to be called. Yes, this could be the last final game of.
I mean, OGN Entus, if they take this game too and record their first W, how would you feel as Kicks? Everyone else has made OGN Entus look not good.
And TNT, game 1, how he won it. Just looking at the replay, it wasn't flashy. There were not too many units on the ground or in the air.
But it was convincing.
It seemed way too easy. That's how good he was in that first game.
But we saw this yesterday with TNT. His first game yesterday, he also made it look very, very easy. And then ended up dropping 2 games in a row. I don't know if that's going to happen again today. We will find out in about 15 seconds.
Yeah, timeout was called by Kicks. That's an extra minute. But what kind of changes will Stitch will be bringing against TNT to continue into the 3rd game and possibly the King of the Hill? We'll have to see on that. The timer's up. And we are soon going into the 2nd game of set 2.
Yeah, TNT, but OGN Entus taking game 1, interestingly enough. Not expecting him to win out here, but if anyone can do it, it is this man, TNT. But he is going to go against Stitch in Kicks. Who's going to win this one? Has TNT shaken off the first match blues? Will he be able to take this against Stitch, who Stitch has not played that many 1v1s at all?
Yeah,
actually
close to none except for close to none except for the King of the Hill game, which is of course 1v1, but not an actual 1v1 by himself, but best of 3.
Yeah, that's a very different ball game. The best of 3, we see a lot of players who are really good at King of the Hill, but in a best of 3 they just get beaten because there's a lot more strategy behind your decks, right?
Yes, the mind games is real. Just having a single game. This game having a single game for King of the Hill, but it's just not the same format for the players to play. Seems like both players has brought a different deck into the 2nd game. See this Spear Goblins already.
It could be anything. I mean, Mega Minion is in like a lot of decks. Spear Goblin and Zapper in a lot of decks. I mean, we can't really call, but oh, Stitch has an idea. I think he knows.
With that Zap, he's got an idea.
He knows what this deck is. That's clearly what that meant, right?
Or does it mean that TNT has woken up the inner beast from Stitch by that Zap?
Maybe TNT, yeah, maybe he's poked a bit too much with these emotes and Stitch is angry.
Oh, TNT did 56 more damage. And he's certainly winning until now. Until anything's dropped. We're looking for that double elixir mark. Did he bring that something heavy of a push once again? The Giant.
Giant would be good in this situation. Golem sometimes is a little too slow. Especially when we have a base race. But the Bats here and the Night Witch, obviously that means it's Golem go time. But there is the Giant. The Lumberjack behind. Bats as well. Prince on the defense, choosing to defend here is very interesting because usually we just see all ins at this point. And it looks as though TNT has the advantage after round 1 of these engagements.
Lately, Golem placed all the way on the back when the Giant is actually placed onto the bridge.
Tornado, though.
So that's going to delay a little bit, but the Golem is not going to have the perfect pair. Night Witch already on the left.
Yeah, but that Fireball does so much work. And a Tesla, that is not good news.
Sparky all the way into the Golem.
Sparky
trying to lead it, but it's going to get to the tower.
Sparky has a 100% win ratio in Clash Royale League Asia. Will it continue now? We're going to see.
So that will be the deleted Golem. And it doesn't really matter, the Baby Dragon is in range of the Princess.
Lumberjack gets one hit, and now we see the Giant and the Sparky, the Bat Summon in the back. Look at the damage done there. Will the Mega Minion be able to finish it before he reloads? No, it hits the Night Witch, and the Giant now going to town on the tower.
And
wow!
That's gonna be the game. Tornado pulls, but he still had the Fireball anyhow.
TNT secures OGN ENTUS' first victory here in Clash Royale League Asia. And I was expecting a bit more emotion from these guys because I'm really emotional right now.
Well, he had all the emotes in-game against Zero Stitch. They will have a 4-0. They have waited for 6 weeks. 6 weeks, the final day of week 6 to have this first win. And they will have it for the first time in season number 2.
But Sparky, 100% win ratio, baby.
Yeah, in Clash Royale League Asia, it continues. It was even used in the finals. It was used in the desperate situations. Wow, what a player. Bringing a Sparky all of a sudden. And not just a Sparky to be used, but he actually pushed it all the way. He used a small spells like the bats to actually distract it from the Mega Minion so it stays alive for that extra shot. I think that's exactly what he needed to have the ending like that.
When the Sparky hit the Night Witch, did it catch the tower as well?
I think it was just in the range because it was right next to the tower.
Because I was watching where that Sparky was going, and I thought the Mega Minion was going to close it out just before it got to fire, and it fired, so I wasn't watching the tower. But the way that tower went down, to me, sounds as though it hit the tower. But that window there, that Prince was just so good.
Will goes just not in time. Because he was low on elixir, that was a tough moment. And when the Prince connects to a tower, you know the game is not going towards your side at all.
Yeah, but he did have the opportunity. With those Royal Hogs, we've seen they can turn games around very quickly, but they not today against TNT. He does defend very well. But we see now the Night Witch, the Golem, the Giant, and the Lumberjack actually got a decent amount of damage on that left side. Yep. But that Sparky, look at the damage it does. Against the Golem deck, Sparky is one of the worst things to see.
Yeah, Tornado was being used to have the explosion damage from Golem, so it does the damage to Sparky as well, which helps to do damage from the Baby Dragon. I think that was the biggest reason.
All right, so he pushes this Giant up.
And has all the bats.
Yeah, destroys that. It is in range. It does connect.
It does. That's a big shot onto the tower, of course.
Yeah, that was it. Like, Sparky does so much damage, and that is how that tower went down so quickly. But fair play to TNT, that was nuts.
He got bats just in time to have the extra damage to delete that Prince, so that the extra shot goes straight to the Witch and the tower.
But that Mega Minion could have ruined that plan.
Oh yes, certainly, and that's the reason why we're going to have an interview with the members
이번
of
주
OGN.
최초의 한국팀 승리입니다. OGN 엔투스의 승리.
First Korean win of the weekend.
인터뷰 한번 시작해 보도록 하겠습니다. 먼저 축하드립니다.
Let's have an interview. Congratulations.
일단 기본적으로는 이제 동남아전 이번 주에 한국의 첫 번째 승리이기도
It's the
하지만
first Korean victory of the
OGN
weekend against
엔투스의 첫
Southeast
번째
Asia.
이번 시즌 또
And the first one for OGN ENTUS as
감회가
well.
새로울 것 같습니다. 하우 선수 느낌이 좀 어떻습니까?
Does certainly feel different. Yeah, it feels really good right now.
나요? 그렇게 짧을 정도로밖에 안 됩니까?
Really
뭐 더 없습니까?
Anything else?
팀이 원래 연패 속에 빠져서
We were in
좀
that deep
힘들어하시는
losing streak.
상황이었는데 그래도 다들 팀원들이 긍정적으로
But all of
재밌게
us,
연습도 많이
all
하고
of my teammates were thinking,
힘내서
having
할수
some
있었기
positive
때문에
mindset.
무너지지 않고
We
챙길 수
did not
있었던 것 같습니다.
그렇습니다. 사실 그 주위에서
crumble,
바라보는
but we did
입장에서도
not falter.
혹시라도 선수들 멘탈이 무너질까 굉장히 좀 걱정을 했었는데 어쨌든 첫 승 끊어냈으니까
Yeah,
뭔가
a lot of the
다른
viewers
모습
were worried that
생각이 듭니다.
you guys were in the losing
그리고
streak.
드디어 또 첫
You kept
승의
your
주역 중에
mentality.
한 명이죠. TNT 선수 먼저 다시 한번 또 축하의 말씀
And
드리도록 하겠고
congratulations again
좀
to
어때요? 기분이
TNT.
어떻습니까? 이 프로브대 또 서보니까
How did it
또
feel
첫
to
승
be on
가져가면서
stage
기분
and
좀
play Clash
어떻습니까?
Royale? Competitive.
어제보다 집중 잘해서 이겼던 것 같아요.
I think I was able to
그렇군요.
concentrate a little bit
사실
more
TNT
today,
선수가
and that's the reason why I
인터뷰하기 전에
won.
짧게 해달라고. 게임할 때보다 지금 더 긴장이 많이 된다면서요? 지금 긴장 많이 됩니까?
pretty sure
인터뷰가
standing
더
on
긴장돼요?
The stage right now with the interview is actually
그렇군요. 그렇다고
much more nervous than
합니다.
playing
사실
game.
하울 선수를 제가 또 칭찬을 더 안 할 수가 없고 중계중에도 계속해서 이야기했습니다만은 오늘은
So young.
하울 그 자체
At
하울의
18, standing on the
수다쟁이가
stage, it's
뿜어져 나왔었던 그런 날이
gotta be a
아니었나
good
생각이 듭니다. 평소 때보다 말 솔직히 많이 한 것 같고
And how today?
팀 내 어떤 분위기도 많이 올려준 것 같습니다. 오늘은 뭔가
Seems like you
분위기가
were
좀
talking, having
달랐습니다.
a lot of communication for that TV
일단
too.
뭔가 팀이 계속 지면은 원래 힘들어서
It's
지칠 수 있는
of
상황인데
course it's really hard when your
저희는
team
성격이
loses
다
all the time.
밝아서 그래도 지치지 않고 해서 항상 즐겁습니다.
So with all the teammates, we
그렇습니까?
have positive vibes.
즐거웠다고요?
We actually enjoy
약간 몸
playing
움직이는
the
거
game.
아닌가요? 자 그리고 TNT
Really?
선수
You guys
뭐 짧게
enjoy?
대답해도 돼요.
That doesn't sound the best.
말대로 엄청 세더니.
We enjoy losing
어때요? 오늘
week in,
딱
week
1승
out.
가져가 보니까 앞으로 이제 뭐 일본 팀들도 상대하고
TNT.
한국 팀들도 상대해야
Now you
될
have a lot of
텐데
other teams.
뭐 자신감이 쫙 하고
You have to go against the Japanese
내
teams
라이벌은
once
딱
again,
누구다
and
얘기할 만한
the
사람도
Korean teams
있습니다.
at the end. You feel confident
나 이
going into the
선수는
later week?
진짜 되게 잘하는 것 같다. 근데 내가 이기고 싶다. 뭐 이런 사람
Do you
한
have
명 있어요?
any players that you want to
짧게
beat?
아이디만 얘기해도 돼요.
그 KK 선수가 잘하고요.
I think KK is really
예.
good.
그리고 준비 잘해서 이기도록 노력하겠습니다.
I'll try my best to
알겠습니다.
have the right prep and
보통은 이제
win.
뭐 미칸보이나 뭐 동남아 타 선수들도 있을 텐데 KK 선수를
Lots of
또
other
잘하는 선수로
Like Master
뽑았군요.
Hong,
알겠습니다. 일단 하울
Big and Booyah, but
쪽으로 마이크 다시
say
넘겨볼게요.
KK. out of
1승
all the
가져가면서 어쨌든
Mainly 'cause he
이제
doesn't have to go
스타트를
against
끊어냈습니다.
Cambodia, 'cause OGN
어떻게
have already
남은
played
기간
Thomas.
동안 특히나 또 일본전도 준비해야 되지 않겠습니까? 되게 각오라든가
Of course, this is the
몇승
final
정도
one
할것
for this
같다.
weekend,
목표
but next
뭐 이런
weekend
게
you
있을
have to
것
go
같아요.
against Japanese
네,
teams.
일단은
Any shout-outs or the final words?
전승 목표로 하고 있고요.
We want to have
절대로 지지 않게
the rest of the
준비
matches
잘해서
with all wins.
일본전도 무사히 마치겠습니다.
And we'll
알겠습니다.
have a
마지막으로
have a great
TNT
set of
선수
matches against Japan
본인의
as well.
팬분들도 굉장히 많으시고 그리고 OGN 엔투스의 팬분들 굉장히 많으십니다. 본인의 각오 마지막으로 한번 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 이거는 뭐 길어도 되고요. 예.
a lot of fans watching you.
최선을
Patience,
다하겠습니다.
TNT.
알겠습니다. 짧고 굵게
I'll
뭐
try to
다른
do
이야기가
best.
필요하겠습니까? 이겨서 보여주는 게 바로 또 프로게이머가 아닌가라는 생각이 듭니다.
Yeah, that's what
자 드디어
pro gamers do. They win
동남아전의
and
첫
they
승
show
신고한
results.
OGN 엔투스 그리고 OGN
Final
엔투스의
strong words
첫
from TNT
승이기도
and
합니다.
how
앞으로 과연 어떤 능력을
That was
보여주게
the
될
first
것인지 앞으로
victory
계속
for
지켜보겠습니다.
OGN
인터뷰는
Entus.
여기서
We'll be
마무리
back
짓도록
to the
하겠습니다.
second match, OP Gaming versus AHQ eSports Club. Welcome back to Clash Royale League Asia. We have the second setup series for you guys. Using OPI Gaming Clash Royale, AHQ eSports Club. Korea finally taking their win over the weekend.
Not just Korea finally taking their win. OGN ENTUS finally getting a victory. And we walk around and, you know, most of the staff here, you know, we are OGN. A lot of the staff are like, oh yeah, like OGN. So happy today. Everyone's so smart.
Let's get to check out about two teams, OPI Gaming, AHQ eSports Club.
그러면 이쪽 마이 프렌드. 세임 에이지.
Hello， 我是 AHQ 的 Master Hong。我如果按韩国的年龄就是36。
저 17. 나가. 그분 나이를 생각하면 굉장히 좋은 피지컬을 갖고 있다 생각해요. 네, 안녕하세요. 저는 OPI 게이밍의 이의찬이라고 합니다.
33.
마스터 선수가 저희 의찬이 형하고 나이가 비슷한데 의찬이 형하고 한번 붙었으면 좋겠어요.
就很期待跟魏晨选手的较量。
만나게 된다면 좀 재밌는 매치가 되지 않을까.
그래도 의찬이 형이 좀 더 어리기 때문에 의찬이 형이 이길 것 같아요.
아무래도 나이가 조금 젊을수록 순발력이나
흡수력 부분에서는 다르다 생각해요.
보통 이 게임은 10대 후반에서 20대 초반까지가 가장 잘한다고 생각해요.
魏灿，我们给这些小朋友看看我们的实力吧。主要是就是靠老子的脑力，不是靠反应。
저도 좀 동의하는 말인 것 같아요. 순발력보다는 센스다.
두뇌도 중요하지만 피지컬도 같이 겸비되면 좋다고 생각해가지고
저는 나이도 상관이 크게 있다고 생각합니다.
어린 선수들이 순발력이 있다 보니까
성원이랑 1대1 좀 해야겠네. 혼나보자 좀.
那就给你们看看年纪大的人实力是怎么样了。
홍 형이 흥했으면
魏灿，好好加油！
You just saw it for OPI Gaming, Uichan, oldest in the team, and also Master Hong. Wants to show these kids what they've got. It's not just optimized for the young ones. And they want to show on stage of what they can do with Clash Royale.
What did I just watch? I love it.
OGN best production.
It takes me back so many years to how bad TV used to be. Anyway, OPI Gaming, Chashu Dabong, Oichan, Jin TV, and Songwon. Clash of the oldies today. Oichan and Master Hong, but Master Hong actually has
Not in the roster.
100% win ratio.
Oh yes.
Oh no, he's the fourth player for AHQ. He will be the fourth player. But what I gotta say, 100% win ratio. All these young'uns saying, they're too old, they don't have the reaction speed. What do they know? Master Hong has taken everyone out that he has faced in a best of 3. He took out Jai, he took out Ray Baggers, he took out Big Daddy, and he took out TNT. Age is not important.
Yeah, it's all about your skills. That's what Uichan says. Is also, they agreed together that age does not matter how good you have to be. Comes to AHQ Esports Club, Jerry Song, Master Hong. Talked about SB, who played a lot of 1v1 as well. Shaka Yao Yao, the soulmate duo pair for the team a lot of the times. Are we ever going to have Jerry Song?
Not this season, I don't think. There are so many good players as well. But the story here, 5-3 local third. So in the SEA region, a 5-3 score puts you at number 3. In any other region,
they'll be number 1 in Korea.
Yeah,
if they're in Korea with 5-3.
Even 5-4, I think they would be above King's Own Dragon X based on settlers.
Oh yes, that's certainly right. Guessing that this entire region at Southeast Asia has been doing so well, and that's what's been happening. But OGN was able to break that streak. Let's see if that continues, or it's going to be the ending with Southeast Asia taking 7 matches over Korea in a single weekend. see the final match.
We had Saturday Night Massacre, and tonight, maybe it is the Sunday Night Resistance again for the Korean teams. But Oichan and Chasu banned the Poison, and Jake and Yao Yao banned that Inferno Dragon. For the 2v2, no Tornado ban. This doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, and Inferno Dragon ban means we just need to have something like Inferno Tower. Because we're going to see a lot of golden plays, lots of Lava Hound possibly.
No. But I tell you what we will see from Jake Yao Yao. We will see more Royal Giant.
Yes, they have been continuing to just push that over and over again. And they managed to win. That's the reason why they get to use it all the time. Does OP Gaming have something like OGN where they can use something of the same and use it better?
Well, we'll see. They need something here today that's, you know, going to take them to that victory. With the Inferno Dragon and Poison, with no Tornado ban, I don't think we're going to see Hogs. No Hog Rider, no Hogs. Miner is a possibility. What else could...
Well, Miner sneaks in here and there all the time in 2v2. So very likely, actually. With the Poison ban, Fireball. But even with that Fireball, we still have lots of Hogs. But a little less, as we mentioned, because there's Tornado now. And so Barrel, Miner, Hogs, they're a little weaker, I would say, to be coming out. And you don't even have to you don't even have to think about those when you have that big giant.
It's true. I mean, one of the problems of not having Tornado banned is that each of these teams probably prepared decks without Tornado. So once you have that Tornado, do you add Tornado into your already perfected decks, or do you just leave it out and run that risk? I mean, that's something kind of restrictive for these teams.
That's something they should have been ready already. They had a lot of time for the match to prepare for this 2v2. Uichan and Chashi for OP Gaming. Duo, AHQ Esports Club, Shake and Yao Yao. Get the first game for you in the arena.
Alright, so Oichan Chasu in blue at the bottom for OP Gaming. Jake and Yao Yao in red at the top. And we see Golem.
Witches, Lumberjack.
Is it going to be that ridiculous deck where we see the Golem push forward, a Night Witch or a Witch spawned, and then the clone? Is it going to be that huge clone deck that we occasionally see from these teams?
The double rage. The clones are being held for now, so not too much. Great Tornado actually bringing it together.
Yep. What it did actually was allow that Golem to access the tower. Otherwise, the Prince would have finished it off. That Prince trying to charge through under rage gets taken out.
But they still, AHQ still managed to do some damage with that Golem only. That was explosion damage, the death damage, and a few shots from the Golemites.
The Witch will get one axe hit and one bat hit there. 2207 remain on AHQ's top left tower. And there is a giant skeleton. There is the Witch. We're going to see this clone come very,
but the
very
Baby
shortly.
Dragon actually doing quite a lot.
And the Lightning taking her out. There's the Night Witch. Are we going to see the clone? Maybe not, actually. With that Golem pushing against all of this, I don't think we're going to see the clone come out.
They want the Lumberjack to be with the clone, so I don't think this is the best timing. They need the Lumberjack behind the Golem, and then they'll use the clone. That they need a double rage.
Yeah, but they don't have the clone with the Lumberjack yet. We're waiting for that little bit of elixir. There's another Tornado. Tornadoes absolutely everywhere, pulling everything onto that giant skeleton bomb. And suddenly there is a lot of damage here for OP Gaming. That tower is going down. 2 Baby Dragons, a Prince, a Golem that has yet to explode, and a Mega Minion. That is just so much, and there is the clone. That tower is going down so quickly.
Yeah, the King Tower is going down 2,287, but it seems like they will be able to defend it, but already 2/3 gone.
That Tornado onto the giant skeleton bomb was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful by OP Gaming.
Cleaned out everything that AHQ had in the middle as a defense.
Yeah, and they're going to see if they can do it again. And if they can, it will be game over. There's so much potential damage. They use the golem on the defense to pull everything back. There is a tornado onto the death bombs. Boom. That goes down. And look how much is remaining for OP Gaming.
And now Lumberjacks marching straight towards. There's another Lumberjack, but still a lot of air units. There's a clone. And King Tower taking some damage now.
Unfortunately, that first clone was inside the tornado, so all the clones die, but it doesn't matter. That tower is going down. Oh, it didn't go down. 14 HP remain. OP Gaming taking game number 1 here in very, very convincing fashion.
They almost got 3 crowns, just 14 away.
Beautiful, beautiful play. If you have a friend who is next to you in 2v2, try that deck. That was nuts. It was so good. I want to see it again. I don't even care if it gets beaten. I just want to see it again.
Lots of not misplaced, but not as effective tornadoes coming up from the AHQ for sure, because simply they're not being able to have that giant skeleton having the synergy with that tornado, which OP Gaming had in a big chance. Yeah, that was the playmaker here.
It was absolutely huge, tornadoing everything onto that giant skeleton's bomb. Just such a genius move. And there was the clone that got tornadoed, and then they're just like, yeah, let's clone again. And if that baby dragon wasn't there, we would have seen a 3 crown. But unfortunately, it gets all the way down to 14 and didn't finish.
Even though the tower on the left bottom did get a lot of hits starting from the golem, a few lightning spells, but just not enough in time because they never got their units really across that bridge because OP Gaming was pushing way too hard. If not defended, they were going to lose 3 crowns, and the moment your King Tower is destroyed, the game's over. It doesn't matter what time it is.
Yeah, it would be interesting if you knock out all 3 towers and then you have to sit around for 2 minutes and do nothing, you know? But we are about to get into game 2 between Oi-chan and Chasu of OP Gaming and Jake and Yao Yao of AHQ Esports Club. Let's get into this one. So OP Gaming, Clash Royale in blue at the bottom, AHQ Esports Club in red at the top, and a snowball gets thrown from one team to the other.
And the log as well. What's the guards? Need to throw down something to deal with the guards. They will actually get a few stabs.
Yeah, not too bad for the guards there, taking it down to 20-45 with the snowball and the log. Really decent damage for such little. But AHQ Esports Club have bought that giant skeleton and royal giant combo that we've seen work earlier today. Will we be able to see it again? There is a giant skeleton for OP Gaming there, the Night Witch. Oh, and there is the tornado onto the bomb. Realizing that whatever OP Gaming did in the last match, they couldn't do it better. AHQ Esports Club have forged a lead here, 9-3-2 on that bottom right side tower.
They have a massive lead from about 2,000 to 900, over 1,000 damage with just one attack, and they have the tornado once again. Because OP Gaming, they have enough to, actually they're going to give up onto the right. They want to make their own push onto the left because they do not have the best solution against it.
Yeah, but if that giant skeleton and royal giant make it to the crown tower, we could see a quick 3 crown here. That giant skeleton with the royal giant is taking that tower very, very, very low.
Yeah, it's going to continue, but the baby dragon with the King Tower's help eventually will take it down. The real push with the clone is happening on the left side, but Inferno Tower having a big effect in stopping the golems.
And look at the value of that death bomb from that giant skeleton. Rips the heart out of OP Gaming's push there. And as I said, the royal giant and giant skeleton that managed to reach the King Tower takes it down to 1,085. This is almost a 3 crown within 2 minutes.
Yep, so that's the reason why they have managed to switch their attack onto the right, because they know one small push will do 1,000 damage to the King Tower.
Yeah, but the biggest, oh, beautiful tornado, pulling that giant skeleton away from everything, but the only thing that actually remains is the witch, and that's not going to be good enough at this point.
Straight shots into the King Tower.
Needed that clone there to try and help defend this push down to 608. Will AHQ be able to get that 3 crown here?
And also, OPI Gaming, they're busy defending right now. They can't attack. It's the opposite of what happened last game. Seems like we're going for the 3 crowns again. The Royal Giant locked onto the King Tower. One more shot. We'll do it.
There it is. Wow, 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 wow. AHQ Esports Club taking game number 2 with the trick that OP Gaming used in set number 1 with the tornado onto the Giant Skeleton.
Yeah, with the Royal Giant this time for them. And this is the deck they have been using many different times, past days, past weekends. So when they have the comfortable one, they're able to bring it against OP Gaming. And we could see the reason why we don't see as many golden decks anymore. Because the Royal Giant plus the Giant Skeleton is able to do so much more in a shorter time period.
Yeah, we've seen inklings of this Royal Giant last season and early this season, and we kind of laugh like, why would you use Royal Giant in competitive? It's not a good card. What are you doing? And look what's happening. Suddenly, it's become the meta in CRL Asia to do this Giant Skeleton Royal Giant push. How do you defend it? With the change coming as well, it has the potential to get even scarier next week.
And less deploy time from what I know as well. But of course, the range will be nerfed as well.
Yeah, range down to 5, 60% increase in damage, and a 1 second deployment.
So that will certainly have a big effect on this 2v2 deck for sure.
Is it going to make it stronger or weaker?
We'll
like, the jury is still out on whether that was a Royal Giant buff or a Royal Giant nerf. Like, you talk to Royal Giant players, they're like, oh, it's terrible, like, we don't have the range anymore. But you talk to people who don't play Royal Giant, they're like, what? They're increasing the damage
by 60%?
Are they out of their minds? Yeah.
That's like raising the Hog Rider's damage by 20%.
I tell you something, if they ever buff that Hog Rider, straight off,
I know one thing that's going to happen. The internet is going to explode.
The subreddit is just gonna, like, you know, it's gonna be all-out civil war.
Hey, we got the Ice Wizard change, so that's coming soon. And certainly after the balance change, I think we'll have a lot of different decks coming out from week number 7. That's just happening after a few days.
Yeah, we might get the spawner decks back that we saw very early on in Season 1, where we saw a lot of Goblin Huts.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll make a comeback and we can see a return to Season 1 Clash Royale. Not so happy about that. Season 2 has been some great Clash Royale. The level here is out of this world.
Yeah, the story's building up, the history, and all the stats certainly building up for all these players. But it comes down to the final game of set number 1 for this 2v2. Lieutenant Chashu, are they bring it back for the 3rd game? Or is it going to be AHQ having a reverse sweep on this set? Let's get into the final game number 3.
So here we are, the deciding game between OP Gaming Clash Royale, Oichan and Chasu, and AHQ Esports Club, Jacquet and Yao Yao.
And a cheese already, Graveyard Freeze. We have seen a few times.
Both players on OP Gaming Clash Royale have exactly the same starting hand. It's just a different order. They both had Tombstone, Guards. Like, that was nuts. You never get to see that. But double Lava Hound here from AHQ Esports Club. Do OP Gaming have anything to defend this?
Yeah, because there's no Inferno Dragon in this game. Okay, Lava, first one. Away easily with that fireball, but the baby dragons are pushing as well. Lots of pubs. Lots of pubs.
Tornado has to come in, but there is still 2 very, very healthy baby dragons onto that tower. Tornado them back again.
They have no elixir.
Look at the damage getting done. It's the lightning there, taking out what little defense OP Gaming have, and they are on the back foot. 6-2-1 on that bottom left-hand tower. Tell me, G-Clef, how much damage have AHQ Esports taken? Exactly.
Yes. 25-34. Not even a single strat. Not even a wind blown onto those Princess Tower.
Here we go. Double Graveyard Freeze. That's what we're going to see.
Have it, yes.
They have to go on one tower.
They have to do it with the fashion. They have the Lumberjacks, so the Rage will be half in the circle. They gave up on the left side. The tornado, so effective. And no freeze yet. Maybe not this time.
No, but they're going to lose that. They're going to lose their King Tower if they don't do something very, very quickly. The pups come out, and that tower is down to 2815. Ridiculous amounts of damage being taken by OP Gaming, and they have to make this graveyard freeze work. If it doesn't work in this push, I'm going to say it's game over.
They need a perfect graveyard freeze. Perfect, I mean, all the units trapped, maybe even all close. Oh, maybe. The Baby Dragon spawns right after, so this one's not going to work too effectively.
Yeah, but they still get a decent amount of damage done to that tower. 1,035 remain, and that giant skeleton actually goes down right next to the tower, so they're not going to get the value out of that death bomb. They have to use the double Baby Dragon, and there is the lightning taking out the Baby Dragon. They use Tornado. Is it going to be enough? The pumps are going to pop out any second, and they don't have any air defense.
It's about OP Gaming. Can they get the tower in the next 18 seconds? There's a double graveyard this time.
Yeah, the freeze is going to be so good right now. When it comes in, the fireball is there, the snowball, the freeze. Is that tower going to go down? They tornado the skeletons, and it doesn't look like it is.
There's nothing else. 4 seconds left to go. Seems like OP Gaming, they have lost this game. It will be AHQ grabbing their first set win of 2v2.
And what that means is Oichan and Chasu, actually, their 2v2 record together right now is 4 losses and 1 win. Whereas Jacquet and Yao Yao, these two can read each other's minds so well. And in terms of sets, they are 6 and 3.
Oh man, it's gonna be a tough loss once again. They do have 1v1 coming up very soon. They have to turn it around. They didn't, from what I remember, I don't think they have used the timeout either.
No,
for the 2v2.
OP Gaming did.
Okay.
AHQ. Oh, that's a completely different game, isn't it? AHQ. AHQ didn't use theirs, so they're going to be able to talk to SB if he needs a timeout.
And SB himself is a very strong player. Let's have a recap of what happened in this 2v2. Set number 1, as Oichan and Chasu was his first game. They were pushing in. Seems like the key winning factor is that giant skeleton, which is barely ever used in that 1v1, but so effective when paired up together.
Yeah, it's a very expensive card, but in 2v2 you can afford to lean on your colleague and just make it work. And the tornado on top of the death damage is just such a sweet little move that really set OP Gaming Clash Royale up for that first victory. But then we saw AHQ Esports Club see something they liked and replicated it right there. And they got so much work done with it.
Yeah, they go back to their favorite deck. That Royal Giants once again. Massive pushes all the time, over 1,000 damage on the first one. Even looking for that King Tower.
Yeah, we saw last season that Japanese teams really did define the 2v2 meta with the bait cycle decks that they were running. This time it seems as though the SCA teams have decided, like, created this meta of Royal Giant Skeleton. And honestly, I don't know how to approach that deck and beat it.
Oh, ban Royal Giant. That's what we've been seeing so far. And actually, that was actually not enough. You can only ban one, Giant Skeleton or Royal Giant. So that's going to be the fact. Third game, well, this game has Poison Ben, so why not use the Graveyard and tease it with that freeze? Not too effective with that. Tornado is out there.
Yeah, tornadoing the skeletons to death. Also that Tombstone in the back as well, taking so many of the hits from those little wee skeletons. I mean, beautiful, beautiful defense there, just to make sure that OP Gaming didn't have a way back in that game.
Now it will be the 1v1. We have been talking about Jin TB from OP Gaming.
2-2 has managed to beat, let me quickly check. He beat Shad and Smokey, he beat Rad, has lost to Lampo, and lost to Benza Riddell. He has yet to beat an SEA player. Will this be his first? Against SB, who has only beaten Korean players.
TB has shown his grid spam, the Bandit Battle Ram with the P.E.K.K.A. against Brand Esports. It was Manong GP actually. He lost, but he had a very good cycle against it. Let's see if actually uses that once again. And here comes the player for AHQ. Seems like the youngsters are taking on that 1v1 for every single team now.
Yeah, that's probably because Master Hong is here. You know, he wants to give the old man a rest. Holding up his Totoro towel. Do you know that Totoro is like 30 years old right now or something like that?
Oh yeah, so he's about as old as Master Hong then.
Master Hong remembers when that was released in the cinemas, man. He would have been 6 years old. Ridiculous. All right, Jin TV for OP Gaming against AHQ SB. Who's going to take this? Jin TV can finish it out and bring us back to a King of the Hill, but SB can close this match off right now if he can win. Who's going to take it? We're going to find out as we get in to set 2, game 1. The princess emotes.
SB is also a master of all the emotes.
The emote meta is very, very important to Clash Royale. And it looks as though SB has an idea as he throws out the Royal Ghost. Just going to slowly creep his way across the field. And a bandit as well. It looks like we're going to get a bit of bridge spam here from SB. The P.E.K.K.A in the back is going to have something to say about that.
And a P.E.K.K.A, that's kind of what ZipTV was playing a couple of days ago. Having a good idea what the deck is about.
SB taking his hands off the device very, very surely. There's an E-Wiz, which can be the difference, but when you summon your own E-Wiz, it doesn't matter. And the poison from Jin TV here is just going to mean that P.E.K.K.A goes down on a Flying Machine in the back. Flying Machine is such a good card, and no Fireball to take it out. If it connects to the tower, it can do
poison
so
was
much work.
just used, and the Ghost actually connected few shots. So good start for SB. How's Jin TV actually going to connect? Is there a good defense? There's a bandit.
Yeah, the bandit won't get that charge off here, but does just about take it out with that tower help. And a log just to crush the bandit before she decides to dash into the tower. Battering ram played at the back for SB as the P.E.K.K.A from Jin TV starts emerging from the back. Will this trigger SB to go down the other side? That's a heavy elixir cost played right there. There we go. Easily taken care of by Jin TV.
That Battering Ram almost seemed like he just wanted to cycle for the next attack. Because that Battering Ram was basically wasted by having no follow-up. Here comes the Hogs.
Do we have an answer for the Hogs? The Royal Ghost is there, but that's not the greatest of answers. It does take a long time for the Royal Ghost to make bacon. But the P.E.K.K.A is still alive. Going to town. The poison comes down. Bandit, E-Wiz, Royal Ghost, P.E.K.K.A making their way. The bandit charges onto the tower, and even with the battering ram on the left-hand side, which is handled easily by the guards, SB managed to get quite a bit of damage done to that bottom right-hand side.
Good counter damage as Bandit can just go through that log and basically invincible in that animation of having the dash. So that was a good hit, and not a bad defense actually. That seemed like the very big one. Battering ram was defended perfectly on the left side. Yeah, the E-Wiz and the Royal Ghost here take it out. Oh, the Royal Ghost actually only gets to hit 1v1, so it didn't get to take out the guards. And Bandit there charging into the other Royal Ghost, and the Hogs P.E.K.K.A are back. Flying Machine on the defense at the back. Isn't going to get hit by that poison, but will it matter? These Hogs are doing a lot of work with that poison. Less than 1,000 HP remain. 18 the final count on that, but we have 2 P.E.K.K.As from SB. That's a lot of potential damage. Another P.E.K.K.A and the Flying Machine on the back. That's the wheel power shoot that SB has. Another battle ram to the guards are spawned, so not too much of a defense. Perfectly actually to have Jin TV manage to do so with the Mega Minion just enough to take out everything. Yeah, the Royal Hogs coming now. There is still the P.E.K.K.A in the back. The Mega Minion goes down as Zap from SB to try and slow these Hogs down. Oh, that's 4 or 5. 2 poison in range, and that's going to be overtime. And Jin TV, as long as he manages to push some of his units over that bridge, poison is going to be used twice. We still have 2 minutes, 15 seconds. There is the first poison. Will it make a difference? The Bandit doesn't get the charge, actually.
The guard's distracting it just long enough for the tower to finish her off. So we are waiting for that poison to cycle for Jin TV. Does he have it? 4 elixir is there. He has to use the E-Wiz. Oh wait, was it an E-Wiz? No.
1 more damage. Anything plus the log or
there
even a single shot from the Ghost, but he has the poison to finish off the first game.
Jin TV winning game 1 here against SB, who at some points it looked as though he eked out an advantage, but Jin TV just has the resilience and kind of had the elixir advantage to be able to push through that.
For SB, with that many units, but very slow, except for the battle ram, which he wanted to do some distracting damage on the left. Guards were just enough to actually defend perfectly onto the left side all the time. Jin TV, even though the massive push was coming from both sides, he did not lose his cool.
Yeah, the Hogs were a deciding difference between these two players today. The Hogs just got work done, regardless. They just do so much damage, so much work for a player of this kind of caliber. It's almost unfair.
Guards with those shields, very powerful. Right now, it's super in the meta 1v1, 2v2, can block against a lot, especially against those Infernos. It can happen forever, basically.
Yeah, the Mega Minion to answer the Flying Machine. Now, I personally have started to love using Flying Machine, and it's such a good feeling when your opponent doesn't have Fireball.
Yeah,
so good.
It at least draws out that Fireball too, but it is banned out in this game, so that's even better. The reason why you have that Fireball.
Will we see SB manage to tie this up at 1 game each? Or will his losing streak continue? We're going to find out as Jin TV takes on AHQ SB in Set 2, Game 2. So Jin TV in blue at the bottom. SB in red at the top. What are we going to see in this game, G-Clef?
A lot more emotes before we have the units. Maybe not.
Will we see... Will we ever get to see the Screaming Hog mode in an actual match today? I don't think we are. Units are down now. That means it's over. Okay. We see the Ice Golem and the Hunter played at the back.
I was thinking about the 3 Musketeers for a second. Oh, nice angle on that Magic Archer.
Yeah, got the Ice Golem and the Hunter and the Tower.
Oh, the poison is doing massive value here.
Yeah, but now there are 2 Musketeers onto that tower, and they do damage ridiculously quickly. 1,830 on the top left tower for SB.
Yeah, no Fireball, which means this was expected very likely, along with the Hogs.
Yeah, Hogs and the Skeletons here with the log will slow it down, but not quick enough as that damage is piling in. 1557 as we see the E-Wiz take out the Valkyrie there. And those 3 Skeletons don't even get close to the tower.
Yep. They won't really do too much. They won't really have too much effect unless they are going against the P.E.K.K.A. to delay all the small units. Here comes Hogs from Jin TV as well. Rascals.
And a log. Rascals seem to be the answer here for SB.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, took it out before a lot of damage got done. And the Rascals come through unscathed as the Rascal Boy takes a lot of damage, and the Valkyrie there instantly cuts in half those
Jin TV actually, because he's waiting for those Hogs, he does not use... It is an instant answer oftentimes to have just log those Rascal girls, but he's waiting for the Hogs, so he does not use it and just baits it with the Valkyrie app.
There's the Magic Archer to help try and take out that Hunter, but will get poisoned.
Oh, proven right. Arrows beat bullets.
No, we don't. Anyway, Hogs coming again. This time only getting about 100 damage in, and a P.E.K.K.A. used now for SB as the Hogs go down the right-hand side for Jin TV, trying to get some damage onto this tower.
Trying to have the tackle to both sides because he has the 3 Musketeers. Ice Golem taking a few shots. Let's see how well we can defend this one. Pretty heavy of a push both sides, and the Magic Archer is doing some work.
Yeah, that log actually comes down for the Rascal Girls, which opens up a very tiny window for SB to use these hogs effectively. And effectively, he is using them. Look at that bottom left-hand tower, just going down. Less than 500 remaining.
It's gonna come very soon. He has a poison. And with just 2 poison, that's not gonna be enough. But 1 more damage with the Magic Archer. Does he have the angle? Yes, he does. Chunking it, penetrating with the long. That may just finish, and that's gonna be the poison. Finish with style for SB. He brings it back. We're tied 1-1.
Great, great. That second Magic Archer there for SB did manage to find that angle to straight through everything and hit the tower. Very well spotted there for SB, finding the right combination to take out Jin TV there. Great, great play. Are we going to see SB finish this out for a final SEA win at 7-1? We're going to have to wait and see. We have 1 minute of tinkering time before there. Look at that angle right there. So much value on that Magic Archer.
Ice Golem plus the Hunter plus a tower. That's pretty rare of a sight to see. Magic Archer, it's really hard to actually have that. You need a lot of experience and predictions as well.
Yeah, look at there. He was getting 2 Musketeers with every arrow. And look, he was so close to getting it through there. But it didn't matter. He took out the Valkyrie, took out everything else. And look at the defense it does here against those hogs.
Just enough of the Rascals with some more damage from the arrow.
Yeah,
and there is one through the Hunter directly to the tower. That was a beautiful sight to see.
Yep, crossing arrows apparently does not destroy the universe like crossing beams from Ghostbusters, but those 2 Magic Archers there just getting work done.
That's the reason, ladies and gents, why we have to study geometry. You have to know all those angles. When you have experience, it's just good enough sometimes. But it comes down to the final game between Jin TV and AHQ SB. The winner takes a set, and for AHQ, they will grab the entire match. Or is it going to be OPI Gaming? Jin TV bringing back for the King of the Hill. Let's get into Game 3.
So here we go, SB in red at the top of the screen for AHQ Esports Club, and we have Jin TV in blue at the bottom for OPI Gaming Clash Royale. No actual emotes being thrown out. Oh, there we go. SB has an idea. Is he going to throw out the Hog Screaming emote? No, he throws out a Mega Minion instead. As Hogs come down for Jin TV, Dark Prince and the log there. Going to take care of that as quickly as almost humanly possible. Gets 1 hit on those Hogs.
Well, the Mega Minion is not actually, and it drags not to the left side, so, and the Princess is already hitting it, so perfect drag from the Bandit.
Yeah, Prince comes in now at the back, so we see the double Prince. We're going to see probably the Giant again. Very similar to the deck that we saw
from
TNT play, yeah. Ewiz comes in. He's going to slowly chip away at that guard. There we go. The Royal Ghost will take that out with the poison. The Royal Ghost is going to get taken out after 2 swipes.
So how does Jin TV manage to get those Hogs through those Dark Prince, especially because that will just be used against the Hog all the time now?
It's going to be very, very hard for him, but he has to know when SB has spent a little bit too much elixir and cannot throw down that 4, and now is not the time. There is the log. There's the Dark Prince. Cleaned it up again. Just 3 hits this time. But he's got to know when SB has less than 6 elixir for that combo to win.
And just in time before the dash gets the shot, and then shield is removed. Shield can take 1,000 damage, but you will still survive as a Dark Prince. This Prince charging in straight, so need the guards. Perfect one to deal with the Prince.
Yeah, guards are so good right now. The shield just makes them survive way too long against things like Prince and Dark Prince. As we see the Giant now for SB, and the P.E.K.K.A. from Jin TV.
Was expected.
Perfect answer. This is very similar to the TNT game we saw earlier, actually. Almost similar decks from both players.
Yeah, exactly, but Prince not as effective, I would say, this time, because he has the guard along with the Royal Ghost. And charge will be stopped by the Zap here.
There's a Royal Ghost there as well. So that Prince is not long for this world as the E-Wiz micro stunning it to death. 2 E-Wizes now, slowly stuttering through there. And we don't see the log from SB, so Jin TV has found his hog window as that tower goes down to 1,271. The Giant now.
Yeah, but did he
Double
spend
Prince.
a little too much on that attack? Double
Pekka
Prince is coming with that Giant. Pekka is there, but the push is pretty big. Poison, of course, bringing down a lot of them together. Nice use of that Poison.
Very, very well done on the defense again by Jin TV there, making sure nothing scrapes through. And his tower still sits at 1,939 as SB's is at 1,271. With that Pekka, we're going to see the Hogs probably come down very, very shortly as he knows the Dark Prince is slightly out of cycle.
He's just going to use that Poison. And this Giant seems like it's going to be a push with the Dark Prince right after. So he wants to go for that. This attack, maybe the final one. He has put in a lot from SB.
SB has committed a lot of resources, but that Giant is getting work done, and the E-Wiz behind might actually be enough to finish this tower. The Prince comes in.
Another
He's
punch.
Get stopped. There's
another punch with that log, and one more damage from E-Wizard. It's going to finish it any kind of damage.
And there's the Poison. SB finishes us off today as AHQ Esports Club take out OPI Gaming Clash Royale 2-0. SB finally gets another win on the board.
The day of 2 zeros. OGN finally brought it back for Korea, but Southeast Asia over the entire weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7-1. That's the end score between Korea and Southeast Asia. What a turnaround compared to the first season happening again. Last time was 6-2 in week 4. Of course, I'm talking about Season 2. Now it's 7-1. They go against each other once again. What's going to happen?
This is like an episode of Dragon Ball Z where each time they fight each other, their power levels just increase. SEA are currently the Goku of Clash Royale League Asia.
I think they are having that big family of the Super Saiyans. I think that's the real power where they have. Right now, Green teams are having big problems really getting through that 1v1 and 2v2.
Yeah, their 2v2 is just not as good as SEA's has been, and their 1v1, it's very close between the two regions, so it's very hard to say who's going to win.
We saw a few hints from the early game from OGN, but let's take a look at the highlight between Jin TV and SB. First game.
The Hogs are the big difference here. The Hogs just did so much damage every time, and everything else kind of died in the middle, right? But the Hogs from Jin TV just kept going and going. The Poison there to finish it off. SB knew it was over, but Game 2 was a completely different story as these Magic Archers, they just got so much value, and that really helped SB to take this through and win the game. The Poison there as well. Oh my goodness, look how much damage it did to those musketeers.
Yeah, the Magic Archer really did a lot of work in this game. It often just goes down with a few spells and just a few damage from other units. But in this game, Archer survived for a long, long time. Penetrated through a lot of those units. Look at that. Even helping up against the Logs, the Hogs, and Rascals just stopping it near perfectly.
And here, this second Magic Archer just got the angle perfect there, bringing it down to Poison range. As SB almost emotionless taking Game 2. But Game 3, we saw a Giant versus the Royal Hogs. And this time, the Giant comes out on top.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Clash Royale. You are actually losing, but when it's time to go, you just gotta go after the Poison and the Log together. But you have the Giant when there's nothing else against the Giant, like the Inferno Tower or the Dragon. Go straight and punch on that Princess Tower.
Yeah, Jin TV just did not deal with this Giant here. Just look how much value it gets. Down to 1-1-1, 27 off that E-Wiz, which means even the Zap would have finished this game.
Yeah, if the Pekka is the one that counters Giant, never really get that Remember, we let your opponent to have that many elixirs to drop that P.E.K.K.A. That's what SB was doing, and he did it at the end. Managed to get the win.
Turning that screw, but we are about to get into an interview now with
네, 오늘의 마지막 매치업이었었죠.
The final matchup for the weekend.
AHQ의 야오야오 선수와 이야기 한번 나눠보도록 하겠습니다.
Interview with
먼저
Yao Yao.
말씀드리도록 하겠고 소감 먼저 한번 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
你感想如何？
就是今天赢了比赛还蛮开心的，因为我们原本就说我们今天赢，所以我们就说到做到。
네, 오늘 이겨서 정말 좋고요. 전에도 오늘 이긴다고 했었는데 말한 거 지켜서 정말 기쁩니다.
And I said we're going to win, and I'm
저희가 되게 궁금한
proud of
것 중에
ourselves
하나가
to keep the word
야오야오하고
for the fans.
샤크하고 둘만 계속 2대2에 나올까? 둘만 계속해서 나오는 이유가
Shaq and
있을까?
Yao Yao, why
나왔다
are you,
하면
why is it
2대2에서
only you
이겼다면
guys
계속 팀이 승리를 가져가고
playing
있거든요.
2v2? When you guys are up, you're just grabbing all the wins.
궁금합니다.
你这个2比2跟侠客的组合真的是很棒。
Makes it really hard for us to tear people apart when they only
有
play
理由吗？
2v2
然
together.
后我们就是觉得，如果你们2比2赢了过后，你全场就是会赢。有什么？
They're not two individuals; they just become
因为我
one
跟侠客搭档很
mega
棒，这
being.
件事情是我们一直都知道，所以这是当然的。那因为我们有尝试过跟其他人搭档，但也许在其他地方2比2我们会更好。那我是说跟其他队友，但我们可能之后还要再调和。那
네, 우선 계속 서로 알고 지내가지고 좀 조합이 괜찮은 것 같고요. 다른 데서도 해봤는데 좀 괜찮은 결과를 많이 얻어가지고 계속해서 그렇게 밀고 나가고 있는 것 같습니다.
And us too, we had the best results for sure. So I think that's the reason why we are keeping this duo.
승리까지 또 이어가니까요.
As long as we have higher chance of winning.
마스터 홍이 일단은 나오지는 않았습니다. 원래는 일단 전승 중이었었기 때문에 오늘도 두 번째 세트 나오지 않을까라는 생각이 들었었는데 마스터 홍이 출전하지 않았었던 이유가 좀 있을지 궁금하기도 하고요.
其实你们队的那个 Master 是全胜，但是他今天没有出战，有理由吗？
因为其实他昨天病刚好，想要让他休息一天，病刚好。
다른 팀원들이 이제 아프고 나은 지 얼마 안 돼서 좀 쉬라고 했다고 합니다.
Yeah, he was still sick, and we wanted to give him more time to recover.
아니 뭐 배려를 받을 나이대가 되기는 한 것 같기는 합니다만. 그래 아까 전에 사실 저희가 시작하기 전에 의찬 선수와 마스터 선수의 그 영상이 나왔습니다. 어떻게 본인은 동의하시는지 나이와 클래시 로얄의 상관관계. 나이가 좀 많으면 좀 잘할 수 있다 못한다 뭐 이런 거 좀 들어보고 싶습니다.
One time I asked you a question: Does age really matter in terms of skill in Clash Royale?
你那个年龄跟 Clash Royale 没有什么大的关系。
基本上我非常不同意，因为我觉得年纪越小的选手基本上就是越有优势。但是呢，因为年纪大的选手也有他相对优势的地方，但是在反应上一定是年纪小的选手比较强。
사실 동의하지 않습니다. 사실 이 게임은 어릴수록 좀 잘한다고 생각하고요. 물론 근데 나이 많으면 나이 많은 대로의 장점이 있지만 네.
Of course, with experience, there are some advantages in that way, but overall, younger plays better.
요거 좀 빨리 줄여야 될 것 같습니다. 그리고 본인이 개인적으로도 원크라운 팬이라는 이야기를 들었습니다. 원크라운에게 한마디 좀 부탁드릴게요.
听说你是 원크라운 的粉丝
And Wonkraan had something to say to you as well. Do you want to have a response back to him?
원크라운 선수 좋아합니다.
I like you too, Wonkraan.
무슨 갑자기 고백을 해서 깜짝 놀랐습니다. 네, 알겠습니다. 원크라운과 좋은 시간 보냈으면 좋겠다는 그런 생각이 들기도 하고요. 자, 다음 주죠. 대만으로 일본 팀을 불러들여서 경기를 펼치게 됩니다. 일본 팀과의 경기에 임하는 마지막으로 가고 듣고 마무리 짓도록 하겠습니다.
你下个星期就是会跟日本打你的
Give any final word shout-outs?
跟日本打，因为是在台湾比赛，所以我觉得我们应该很难输啦。因为其实我们之前只要在台湾比赛的时候，我们都会输。但我想这次我们就是去韩国啊，来韩国这边比赛，我们这次也算是有输有赢。因为我们之前上一次来韩国去日本，我们基本上都全胜。那既然这次来韩国是有输有赢的话，我想我们在台湾比应该就会全胜。
네, 이번에 대만으로 오기 때문에 좀 지기 어렵다고 생각합니다. 이번에 한국 와서도 좀 좋은 성적을 얻었고 사실 지난 시즌에는 와서 일본 팀들이 와서 좀 많이 지긴 했지만 사실 지난 시즌에 저희가 한국 와서 많이 졌잖아요. 근데 이번 시즌에 이겼잖아요. 그래서 저희 이번에 일본전 대만에서 하는 거 상당히 자신이 있습니다.
네, 확실히 또 한국에 와서 좋은 승률을 가져가기 때문에 자신감이 올라가 있는 상황이 아닌가 생각이 들기도 합니다. 그때도 또 좋은 경기 보여주길 또 바라도록 하겠고요. 한국 팀 그리고 일본 팀도 앞으로 훨씬 더 멋진 경기 보여주기를 바라도록 하겠습니다. 인터뷰는 여기서 마무리 짓도록 하겠습니다.
And that's the end of the interview.
Wow. OGN Entus picking up the one and only victory. Very reminiscent of Japan, Korea last season, where it went 7-1 and Sandbox, who at that time were the weakest team, managed to take the win. But we see here, OGN Entus beat Kicks for their first victory this season. As OPI Gaming Clash Royale went down to AHQ Esports Club.
Both 2-0s, 2-0. No King of the Hill tonight. Quick set of matches. Good news for OGN and good news for Southeast Asia. Of course, Kicks. They're fourth, but with that, even with that loss, they can still climb up really high because they're not neck and neck, but the gap is not too wide for them to climb up.
Yeah, they're 4 and 5.
Now.
It's right.
Yeah, 4 and 5.
4 and 5. Next is 6 and 3. Yeah. They're slipping away slowly but surely. This loss really did cost them today.
Yeah, so that creates some gap, and we're going to have that updated standings very soon. You'll get to see on screen what we're exactly talking about. But the Japanese teams are waiting. They got a break, they got to see, but we'll be on a new patch. That's what's exciting.
New balance patch will come out before SEA takes on Japan, but I mean, the final boss, Ponos Sports, my goodness, they're just running away with everything. They're the team with the highest game ratio at +11 right now.
Yes. Updated standings. Lots of 6-3s for Southeast Asia. OGN finally escaped from that 0. Still seems like we're having not too even. Southeast Asia actually topping the other regions. Lots of 6-3.
Could OGN Entus not finish bottom at Season 2? It's possible if OPI Gaming continue this losing streak.
Well, by saying it's possible, it means it's going to be very hard.
There's a slim possibility, but look at the teams. SEA, everyone is positive now except the Kicks, whereas none of the other regions have quite as many teams in positive win ratios.
Yeah, and let's take a look at next week. Japan, Korea. Happening in Japan, so Kasuro must have.
But SEA's next one is in Taiwan against Japan. But
that's going to be week 8, actually. But this one will be with the new patch hitting October 1st. So let's see if we get to see that Royal Giant anymore in that 2v2. Maybe more, maybe less.
Maybe Gauntlet Giant will make its first appearance here. But Friday, 7 p.m. KST, we have Fav Gaming against King's Own Dragoness, Detonation Gaming against a rejuvenated, hopefully, OGN Entus. And to finish off that Friday will be Game With versus OPI Gaming Clash Royale. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good day.
I think next week will really tell which team has adapted to the newest meta with just few days. Actually, a whole week before the Friday, because the patch goes on live very, very soon. Well, we know. So it will be exciting to find out about some new decks, lots of changes, the Goblin Hut, the Ice Wizard, and also the Snowball. Snowball's getting a massive buff.
I mean, we've seen a lot of Snowball in Clash Royale League Asia. We're only going to see more of it. It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, the slows from the Snowball plus the Ice Wizard. What's going to happen? Are we going to have 10-minute games? We can only play for 6 minutes.
It's going to be ties everywhere as nobody moves. The Ice Wizards just slow everything down. When it dies, the Snowball comes in. It's gonna be slowing the whole game down.
Oh yes, for sure. And the Bomb Tower actually getting a slight buff as well. So maybe that's gonna put an end to Royal Hogs just appearing everywhere. But we'll have to see where that actually appears, because Royal Hogs getting no change onto the actual Hog Rider as well. So lots of big changes coming in for Clash Royale. It will be always more exciting next week.
Yeah, but that concludes today as OGN, the big story today, actually taking a victory.
Yeah, the only win from Korea, but let's see if that actually happens once again, because they have to face Japan in Japan home ground next weekend. We'll see you in week number 7.